Hey everybody, y'all already know why I'm here. I'm here to give you my take on the haves and the have-nots. This is season 5, episode 12, titled In His Eyes. And the eyes we are referring to is Wyatt Cryer. Now before I even dig into all that and give y'all my review, if this is your first time on my channel, please be sure to click that subscribe button. I promise to give you great commentary. You will enjoy it, okay? And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get back to the reason why we're here. So, starts off with Wyatt Cryer, okay? He is holding a head statue in his hand above his head, ready to smash it on his parents and literally kill them. They are on the floor. They are, like, terrified, okay? So, finally, he comes to his senses. Like, I don't know if he's on drugs or what at this point, but he comes to his senses, puts the statue down, and tells them to get out. Well, at this point, he doesn't have a weapon in his hand anymore. So Jim is like, oh, I'm the father here. I'm about to regain authority of this situation, regain control. So Jim gets up and he's like, so were you really going to kill me? Like, seriously? And then Wyatt is like, just get out, just get out. You could tell Catherine is freaked out. She's trying to hold Jim back so they can go. And Jim is like, no. I saw it in your eyes. Like, I saw that you wanted to kill me. Like, there was like a rage, a anger, a madness, like deep down in his soul, in his eyes. Like, you could tell. So at this point, Jim is pissed off to the highest level of festivity. He don't care how mad Wyatt is. He's about to finish his job because he loves his son. He goes over to the sink and proceeds to rinse the rest of the drugs out of the sink. Wyatt is hot on fire mad right now, but there's nothing he can do. So then Catherine tries to get Jim to leave once again. He wanted to have a word alone with his son. Catherine wouldn't allow him to, of course, because she's freaked out. So Jim tells his son, look, don't ever almost kill somebody anymore, okay? If you're going to do it, you need to either do it or shut up, okay? Basically, in other words, nobody else is going to be able to look past this. You almost kill somebody else, they'll come for you. Now, let's not forget Wyatt's history, okay? Wyatt did almost kill Benny, okay? Wyatt did actually kill little baby Lizzie or little girl Lizzie. So let's not act like he don't have a history of killing. But anywho, so after them going back and forth and Catherine being freaked out, Wyatt refuses to apologize and he eventually gets his parents to leave out of his house. Okay, so now another dramatic situation. We have Veronica's house. All we hear is yelling, screaming, shouting. We already know what's going on. It's a battle between Melissa and Veronica because Melissa had the nerve to pull Veronica's perfect ponytail, y'all. So, Benny, of course, is trying to break up the fight. They're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Veronica tells Melissa, get out of my house. Melissa is like, girl, put me out. I'm like, yeah, let me stop for a second, okay? This entire scene irritated, like, the mess out of me, okay? Because Melissa has been acting big and bad, having a horrible attitude, talking reckless to Veronica since last season, okay? Acting like she wasn't scared of her at all, like she doesn't care what happens to her or Veronica. Now, when Veronica tells her to get out and she has good reason to tell her to get out, now Melissa's like, girl, you got your nerves, put me out. Then Melissa even went as far as to say, like, well, where am I going to go? You're not going to put me out. You going to take care of this baby? I'm like, girl, bye, because I'm sure you don't have a baby with your, like, perfect stomach. But whatever. So Veronica is, like, tired of going back and forth with her. Like, girl, I can't put you out this house. At some point in this conversation, Benny and Veronica start arguing because Benny had the nerve to say he had nothing to do with this, and that was between them two. And I'm like, Benny, I know you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, but come on now. Like, you're the common denominator in this situation. Like, they both have slept with you. Veronica walked in on you with the little girl that she hates in her house on her white couch at that. Like, Benny, like, you should have just not said anything. So, whatever. At this point, Veronica is like, Benny, you can get out of my house. I'm good with you. Don't ever call me again. Just leave. And so he starts to walk away. And then Melissa has the nerve to say, and you better not put your hands on me. Something like that. I dare you. So Veronica is like, oh, okay. And then immediately grabs for her and literally snatches her up so she can drag her to the door and physically push her out of her house. Well, that's when Benny is, trying to run to the rescue and save Melissa and helps her. And he turns to Veronica. At this point, Benny and Melissa are outside the front door. Benny turns to Veronica and says, what is wrong with you? Veronica is like, y'all need to get away from my house, okay? Y'all both got y'all nerves. I'm done with y'all. So then at that point, Benny is like, he helps up Melissa off the ground because she's been pushed on the ground. And then Benny's like, so you just gonna put her out like that? And Veronica says, Benjamin? Now, y'all know, there's a difference between Benny and Benjamin, okay? If Veronica say Benny, she, he's on her good side. She say Benjamin, it's I don't know you, but let me remind you who you are, okay? This is serious business, okay? Benjamin, you just got on my bad side. Welcome to hell. Now I'm on the warpath and you're in my sight. Get away from me. Don't call me. Don't write me. Get away from my house, both of you. And at this point, she shuts the door in their face. Yeah, and Melissa had the nerve to start crying, talking about she has nowhere to go. And Benny's stupid self was like, I'm so sorry. Y'all literally got yourself into this situation. And Melissa has been asking for this, for months at this point. Whatever. So then we go to Hannah and Derek. Remember last week, Derek told her after their date at the fancy restaurant, he was going to take them dancing. So they're at this nice little jazz spot. Hannah, still got on her little fitted red dress. They walk inside. There's a lady in there that he automatically goes up to, speaks to, compliments her, tells her she still looks young. She has on this blue fitted dress, this cute little wig, and this off-the-shoulder dress, like moi. But hers is blue, okay? And so, okay, her name is Stephanie Mills, but I, in real life, didn't know who Stephanie Mills was, so I immediately got, a little attitude. What? They on a date, and he have the nerve to be complimenting this woman? Y'all, I was tripping, okay? I Googled her, okay? I guess she's a real singer. But we came to find that out because he introduced Hannah as his date. Hannah was so excited to meet Stephanie and asked her if she could hug her. Then Stephanie goes on stage to perform. She performed the whole song, and it really was a good song. I'm thinking to myself, dang, she must be a real singer. I Googled it, y'all. Forgive me, okay? I didn't know. So she did a great job. The audience is grooving. And then we have Hannah and Derek. They're grooving too. At some point, Derek is behind Hannah, all cuddled up to her, like they in love or something. But she's loving every moment of it. Hannah looks genuinely happy. We've never seen this side of Hannah in the history of the haves and the have-nots, okay? And I'm looking at Derek dang, he kind of cute. Y'all remember Lizzie's grandfather that used to like Hannah that tried to get in her pants? He's a 3, okay? Derek is an 8, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10. So, I'm happy for them at this point. So, after they perform, first of all, Hannah was singing all the words to the song. So this was her song. This is a perfect night. So when things seemed to be going great, after the performance was over, Hannah and Derek are sitting down at a table. Hannah's smiling. She's happy. She thanks him for getting her out of the house because she's had so much on her mind, not just with the death of her grandson, but just life in general. We know all the chaos that Hannah has been through. So, she even admits at one point she didn't know how to smile, but tonight she's smiling, so it's great. And Derek proceeds to tell her, I'm going to keep you in my prayers, whatever. So, then he tells her that he wants to go to church with her tomorrow. And she's like, really? I have choir rehearsal tomorrow. And then he was like, okay, I'll come with you. I'm like, Derek, you playing, because you're not going to no choir rehearsal. She was like, no, that's like somebody watching you get ready. No, if you really want to come to church with me, you can come to church with me on Sunday. And he's like, okay, great. And she's like, really? Okay. And so then Derek throws her for a loop, and he's like, okay, so should I call you or should I nudge you? She's like, say what? Come again? And Derek is like, you heard me. Should I call you or should I nudge you? She's like, I know you playing. He was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm a man. She was like, well, if you thought you was getting in my pants, you need to think again. Like, first of all, you're supposed to be a Christian man, and you know good and well we're supposed to wait until we get married. Now, pause, y'all. Pause. I did not expect this out of Derek, like, at all. Like, he was playing his role real well. At this point, he done got Hannah some wine. They then cuddled back and forth on the floor, grooving to the song. He thought he loosened her up. He sees her, like shining. She has a glow to her. He's like, look, let me shoot my shot. Let me just be direct and straightforward. But Hannah's not that type of person, okay? I think he could eventually get to Hannah, but you can't just come straight out and tell her, like, I'm trying to be in the bed with you in a couple of days, okay? She don't work like that. So, whatever the case, she's like, first of all, you know we're not supposed to do that until we're married. He's like, wait, what? Are you really saying that right now? Like, joking with her, and she's like, well, I'm not talking about, like, us getting married. Like, we don't really know each other, but you know what I'm saying. And he starts laughing, and he's like, yeah. I'm a man, you know, whatever. I just think you're funny and I enjoy being around you, to be honest. And I'm looking forward to getting to know you. And so she's like, well, you know, you seem like a nice guy. I'm looking forward to getting to know you too. And so Derek asked her, you know, can I take you home now? And she's like, that would be fine. So we don't have to watch Derek, okay? But he knows, like, he in there. He ain't in there like swimwear, but he can ease his way in. Okay, so then we have Jeffery in his cell, still in jail, okay? So his cellmate, which we later find out his name is Leslie, his cellmate is like complaining, wanting to get out of the jail, trying to start small talk with Jeffery, but Jeffery ain't in the mood, okay? Like, he's fed up with jail. So his cellmate is like, you know, I can't wait to get out of here. I'm going to get a lawyer, all these crooked police officers. Can you believe one of the officers made me, like, he pulled me over and brought me in his back seat and just, like, some stuff happened. And so Jeffery is like, wait, what? Like, dang, like, he thinking in his head, like, this sounds familiar. Because remember, when Justin and Jeffery met, that's what Justin was trying to do with Jeffery, and he was like violating him on so many occasions. And so Jeffery is like low-key jealous, but then low-key like, what? Like, he doing this to everybody? So the guy finally admits, like, yeah, like, he was like trying to do like sexual stuff with me. And then, so all of a sudden, perfect timing, Justin walks up to the cell. Jeffery is like, I'm not getting out of here. And Justin is like, I wasn't coming for you. I was coming for Leslie. And so Leslie is like, dude, for real? Justin is like, yeah, come on. So takes him out. Jeffery is looking, and in Jeffrey's mind, he's like, oh, so he's about to go and you do the do with him or make him do something. Okay, I see what Justin is about. It's cool. Like, whatever. So at this point, Leslie complied and he went with Justin. So then we have Candace. She's in Oscar's room. She is like taunting Oscar while he's asleep on the bed. She's like, I got you, okay? I can't wait till the morning time so I can get my money. Remember, she went in his computer and got, I think, Jim Cryer's account numbers out of there. So she's excited. She hears a knock at the door, and in walks Gia. So Gia walks in, you know, she's working for Candace now. She pays her what money she's made downstairs. Candace is really not impressed because she feels like Gia is holding back some of this money because she didn't do very well, like, with collecting money that night. Okay, so while Candace is talking to Gia, Gia keeps looking at Oscar and she's like, is he asleep? Is he asleep? Candace is freaking out. Like, she's not really freaking out. Gia is freaking out. She thinks he's dead. Candace knows that he's asleep, but she's like, look, this is what happens, okay? This is how we play the game. He'll wake up sometime tomorrow. So she kind of keeps Gia, like, in check. Like, look, that could be you. Okay, so then Candace basically tells Gia she wants Gia to call Jim seduce him, convince him to come back to the hotel and get him in the hotel room. Okay. This is their scheme to do some type of like money plot to get money from Jim Cryer. Okay. So Gia agrees to it because she has no choice. Then we have Catherine and Jim. So they have left Wyatt's house and they are now at Catherine's house. At this point, they're just reflecting on what just happened to them. And, Catherine is like, I wonder when Wyatt is going to get over this thing that happened with the priest. Because at this point, she's amounting it to like, oh, Wyatt is crazy because of the traumatic events that happened to him in life. That's why he tried to kill us. Well, at this point, Jim is like, come on now. It's not the priest. Let's just be honest. Like, we were horrible parents. And Catherine is like, I beg your pardon. No, I was here. You was a horrible father, okay? You was the one that wasn't here. And he was like, come on now, Catherine. How many nannies, chauffeurs, cooks did you hire, send him off to tennis and stuff like that? Like, you weren't a mother. You had other people do it for you. And so they're going back and forth. Catherine is like, whatever. You were just attentive to all the little skirts running around here. And then she even goes a step further to say, but guess what? You weren't the only horse in my stable. And at this point, I'm thinking, y'all, first of all, y'all are getting off topic, okay? That was the problem with y'all and y'all kids, with Amanda and with Wyatt. Y'all were so focused on y'all own lives or the problems y'all had with each other or dealing with other people outside y'all marriage that y'all wasn't focused on y'all kids, okay? A lot of people make that mistake. So anyways, Jim said, you know what? At the end of the day, we both screwed up. He tells Catherine that he's going to get the money from Wyatt's inheritance. He's going to get it tomorrow. He says he's tired, so he decides that he is staying in Catherine's house. He walks right upstairs like it's nothing, goes into her bedroom and gets in her bed. And she, of course, tries to stop him, but then she doesn't even want to fight it. She's just like, whatever, irritated. I guess you can stay. Okay, so then perfect timing when Jim is in the room by himself, Gia calls Jim. Basically is talking like flirty and seductive with him, trying to convince him to come back to the hotel. Tells him that she wants to finish what they started. At this point, Jim, you can tell he's considering it. He hangs up the phone, but he has a slight smile on his face. More than likely, he's going to end up back at the hotel with Gia. So then we have Derek and Hanna. So Derek has brought Hanna home. I don't know why he had to walk inside of her house to bring her home, but whatever the case, she thanks him for a great night. Then he leans in to kiss her, like a real kiss. But y'all know Hanna really likes him because she didn't stop him. She kissed him back. It was a little intense too, but he was like, I wasn't going to let the night go by without getting a kiss. And I'm like, he wanted more than that. You can tell. And with Hanna, he might be able to get it because she's letting him a lot further than she does with other people. But whatever. She says, okay, good night. And he says, you sure I can't stay? Then, of course, Benny comes out of nowhere and was like, nah, bro, you can't stay. Like, you can get out of here. And so Hannah's like, Benny, stop. Derek was like, okay, Hanna, have a good night. He leaves out. So, of course, Benny has the door like halfway cracked, like somebody's still there. So Hanna is freaking out, like, I know you didn't bring Veronica to my house. No. He opens up the door. It's Melissa. At this point, Hanna has never met Melissa. So she's like, oh, like, how are you? Like, she's concerned because she can tell that Melissa has been crying. And so Melissa tells her, like, I was put out. And Hanna's like, okay, let's come into the front room and talk. So Hanna is like, I'm so sorry that you were put out of your house. And then she looks at Benny and says, well, Benny, if she's a friend of yours, then Benny cuts her off like, nah, that ain't my friend. And I'm like, Benny, that's messed up because you done slept with her twice at this point and you still ain't claiming her, like, not even as like a fake friend. Like, dang, Melissa, you should feel like this big. So Benny's like, she's not my friend. And Melissa says, I met him at Veronica's house. And Hannah's like, you met him where? Who? And then so Melissa's like, I'm supposed to be her daughter-in-law. And then Hanna is like, wait, what? Like, you're marrying who? Like, Jeffery? Wait, are you the one that's supposed to be pregnant? And then y'all check this. Melissa responds and says, that's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. Like, are you pregnant or are you not pregnant? Because I knew you weren't pregnant. Like, yeah, that right there to me was evidence that she ain't pregnant, okay? But she was playing the game. But we'll see. So, Hannah is like looking shocked at this point. Melissa is like, I'm sorry, I don't have anywhere to go. Hannah was like, you can just stay here, sleep well. I'm tired. I done had a long night. So at this point, Benny is like, no, like, this ain't happening. He follows his mama into the kitchen and he's like, she can't stay here. We don't know her. And I'm like, Benny, like, you done slept with her. You done got to know her. Like, you should have thought about that before you slept with her. And so, so Hannah even says, like, you sleeping with her. Benny tries to deny it, but Hannah's like, I'm a woman, okay? And I can tell when you done been fooling around with some girl, and you done been fooling around with a lot of people here recently. And he was like, okay, so yeah, like, it just happened. She was like, yeah, it just happens a lot. And so he was like, I'm going to take her to a hotel. She's like, well, what money? He was like, I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to just take her to a hotel. She was like, okay, and while you're at that, since your little nasty self is happening with everybody, you need to go ahead and take a bath or a shower or something. So then Benny leaves out of the kitchen. He goes into the front room and catches Melissa crying. Yeah, I never know if we're seeing a genuine Melissa or a manipulative Melissa, because I feel like Melissa was genuinely sad when she was put out of Veronica's house, but at the same time, like, I know that Melissa, she's a survivor at this point. So she could just be playing Benny, acting like she's sad so that he doesn't make her leave. And of course he doesn't. He tells her to come upstairs so he could take her to one of the rooms so she can stay overnight. Okay, so then we have David and Erica. They are cuddled up, sleeping at David's house, and he wakes up to his phone ringing. Erica is still asleep. So we don't hear who's talking on the other line, but we hear David saying, like, thanks for returning my call. Yeah, it's about my son. Okay, tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much. I'm sincerely in debt to you. Thank you. So we kind of pick up from that conversation like somebody has arranged for his son to get out of jail. Perfect. Okay. So then he turns over. Erica mysteriously pops up. She's like, good news. And David is like, I'm sorry I woke you up. She's like, nah, I wouldn't sleep. I'm like, girl, I know you wouldn't sleep because you working for Candace like 24/7. Like, you ain't got time to sleep. So, David ends up telling Erica that a judge is going to get Jeffery bailed out of jail. And they start having a little pillow talk and stuff. So then David proceeds to hold Erica's hand and kisses her hand. And I'm thinking, like, dang, David, like, you really falling in love with her? Like, this is insane. So at this point, David tells her, like, I love having you here. Erica was like, I love being here. She then questions how a good guy like him could be with a person like Veronica. And she even says, like, do you still love her? And he admits, like, I suppose in a way I do. Like, I was married to her for years. She is the mother of my one and only son. So, but I just want you to know, like, I don't want her. Like, there's no way that I would ever be with her again. And so Erica was like, good, because I want to tell you something. I'm thinking, like, Erica, like, don't say you're pregnant or something. Come on. She doesn't say that, but she does tell him, like, I'm falling for you. Now, let me know what y'all think. Is she genuinely falling for him, or is she still playing this game for Candace? I'm like 60-40. Like, 60% of me thinks that she's falling for him and she feels like she can start over and create a new life with him. 40% of me thinks that she's playing her role perfectly for Candace and she's not going to try to play Candace again because she's scared to die. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. So whatever the case, David tells her, I'm falling for you too. We already knew that. He's like, you move my soul. I'm like, David, you were such a sucker. But anyways, then of course they start kissing. They about to get it popping again, because that's all they do. They don't stop. They really will end up pregnant. Okay. So then we have Jeffrey in the cell. Justin comes to his cell and tells him you're free to go, but then brings him outside the cell and wants to put handcuffs on him. And he's like, dude, I thought you said I was free. And he's like, no, you're not free until you're outside of these doors. So Justin is just giving him a hard time. He's basically taunting Jeffrey like, oh, I know you're jealous of Leslie. And, well, you know, you got you another little friend. So I got me a friend. And, you know, we did some things. He didn't complain. This has me thinking, like, was that a setup? Like, is Leslie, like, really an inmate? Like, he said what he said to Jeffrey at the perfect timing. Then Justin came to get him. That could have been a plot just to make Jeffrey jealous. I don't know. But whatever the case, my stupid TV, because I have satellite, cut out at that point. So I don't even know what happened after that scene with Jeffrey and Justin. So y'all let me know if something important happened. But it picked back up with Rocky the bartender. So basically another bartender comes in for his shift, but he's late. Rocky goes off on him like, you can't be late. Like, we got this money plan going on. Like, you need to like line up. Okay, so whatever Candace has going on, she's also connected to Rocky the bartender and Gia, and they're trying to get this money together. So Gia. Okay, so then we have Wyatt. Wyatt, of course, all his drugs have been washed down the sink. He shows back up at the same bar to the same drug dealer because he needs some more drugs. The problem is he doesn't have any money on him this time, and he's exceeded his withdrawal limit for the day. So he tells the guy, hey, if we can wait till midnight, I can make sure to withdraw the money for you. So the guy is like suspicious. Like, first of all, I gave you a ton of drugs. Like, I know you're not already done with that or you'd be dead by now, okay? So why are you coming back? Like, are you trying to set me up? Like, is this a game? Wyatt is like, no. Like, and he had to end up telling him, like, my dad took my drug because he doesn't really want me to do it. And the dude is like, get out of here. Don't come back until you got money. And that's when I'll give you the drugs. So Wyatt says, okay, well, I'll just wait here until midnight. I'll order drinks. So the bartender proceeds to get him some whiskey. The bartender is feeling sorry for him at this point. He's like, look at his car keys. See what type of car he got? You know he got the money. He good for it. Go ahead and spot him, okay? I'm sure he'll get you your money. And so the dealer is like, okay, fine. But you better pay me my money. We shall see what happens with this. Okay, because remember, they already have a plot to get Wyatt's money out of his bank account. Jim thinks he's going to get it, but really Candace is trying to get it. Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, so last, certainly not least, cliffhanger of the night is Candace in Oscar's hotel room. At this point, she's attempting to wake him up because I'm assuming he's supposed to be awake by this point. She shakes him to wake him up. He doesn't move. He looks lifeless. So she walks around to him where his head is and notices foam coming out of his mouth. Like, I don't know if he's had a seizure, if he's died. I don't know what it is, but it is a major problem, and she is freaking out, and we will not find out until next week. The end. Okay, so if y'all made it this far in the video and y'all not a subscriber, you may as well click that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed. Give me your thoughts and comments below. Let me know the part of the episode that I missed. And please like this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.